Hiya! Hi everyone. Right, bear with me. Got to just move the lighting out. Hi everyone. Welcome to Cozy Colouring Night. We've got to turn our lighting up. Hold on, I have to do this when I go live. I can't do it beforehand. So hi all. It's part one, round one of Cozy Colouring, which is Jen and myself's event that we did last year. And we're back again this year. Hiya! Hiya, Janet. Hi, Shara. Hi, Mum. Hi, Lou. Hiya, Di. Janet. Oh, 1 second. So a huge welcome to you. I am a bit earlier than scheduled. I was supposed to be 4 o'clock, but I decided to do 3 o'clock. So it gives a little bit of movement between mine and Jen should do 3 o'clock. So it gives a little bit of movement between mine and Jen's streams so that you've got a bit more time, you know, in between to go and grab your food, your drinks and whatever. So today, as you can probably tell, I put it in the thing, I might not have to do all of the colouring. Hiya, Pamela. I might not have to do the colouring. It seems like my friend here's got it like covered with his tools. When I was setting this up, I looked and I was like, oh my Lord, it looks quite good. It looks effective. But I wanted it for the thumbnail. So you know what we do. We have these like things on the screen. So today we're going to be doing, because it's a Halloween themed one, but you don't have to colour Halloween. Me and Jen are, but you don't have to. So hi Pamela, hi Clinton. You can colour anything that you want to get involved into Cozy Colouring Night or Cozy Colouring Day. You can make it the entire day. And I have picked the ossuary out of the Jasmine Beckett Halloween book. So you've seen this floating around. And I do believe, I could be wrong, this might be in the Strangeling special as well. You might have another copy in the Colouring Heaven Strangeling. Have a look. There might be one in there. Oh, I didn't check. So that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to use pans. And we are going to be using pencils for details after. But for you know, for the good stuff. Hiya, Jen. Happy Cozy Colouring Night. So at first, I'm going to be using pans. And then from there, I'm going to put details in and see what we can do with the pencils if we need to. But for the most part, I'm going to try to just use the pans. So if you're watching this on playback, you might want to skip along for about couple of minutes where I say hello to everyone. Hiya, Annette. So I usually say hello. I spend about 5-10 minutes at the beginning where I chat. I say hello to everyone because this is a live show. There's people in the chat. I leave the chat there for the playback so that you can follow along with everybody. Hiya, Unicorn. Hiya, Desiree. Hi, Becca. Got a nice big huge cup of tea in my Disney Evil Queen mug. So I'm set. I'm pretty good. We had a marathon day yesterday. We've got another sort of exciting one today. So I've got everything out in front of me. I'm going to move my skull now and just bear with my arm. So like last like last time when we did pans, we did it for another Jasmine. We had it as our first go. Hi, Charlotte. So I've just picked out the tools that I used on the other Jasmine. So I did use the soft applicators. Now these are they're a flat knife and they come with these little sort of inserts that you can have. And you've got 4 different ones. So you've got an oval, a pointed, you've got a square, and I think a flat one. Then these are like mini applicators. They're a lot harder and a lot more dense than a makeup brush. Hi, Robin. And then this is also an applicator that comes out. It's like a little, can you see that? It's like a little tiny insertable end that goes on this stick. It's got a nice long stick, so you've got enough room to maneuver. And hiya, is it BT? Hiya. So we're going to be just doing this. We're going to see what we can do with this one. I'm going to try to be getting out. We've got our charts that we did before on all the colours. So we did the, you know, we got these last time, didn't we? We did the red iron oxide tint. We did some yellow ochre tint. I think we did some red iron oxide shade for the outer. You can also put some burnt sienna tint, which I think we laid down. And they were the sort of colours that we were looking at before. Hi, Melody. Hi, Sue. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. So, Shara, it's 3 a.m. God bless you for being here. That is a dedicated cause. So we're going to get on and try to do this like we did the first time. So I'm going to go for the burnt sienna tint to initially start, I think, and then we're going to grab other colours in. So we might want to get, I'm going to have a look. That's an orange tint. So that's burnt sienna tint. Hi, Di, I did say, I don't know if you heard me. So we've got beige sienna tint. Then we need red iron oxide tint. Then I might go for the shading in the red iron oxide shade, which might be this one. That might be extra dark. Hold on, we got to find it. Red iron oxide, it's the other one. If I can find it, would be great. There it is. So we go for these types of colours. Hi, Grace. We might want to put a little bit of a brown shade in there. I'll get some light going on the situation. We need the white and the, we're just going to try this. So, hi, Francis. How are you, dear? How are you doing? So we got the, hi, Bliss. Oh, sounds like a good day. So I've got the mediums pack as well, which is the blacks, whites, and colourless blender. So we're going to grab those. So yeah, who's excited for today? There's so much going on. If you want to share all your stuff, Reading with Pugs group will be sharing it over on the Facebook group. Orange shade, that's burnt sienna. We can go for some burnt sienna as well. And burnt sienna shade. Okay, so you can share all your setups, what you're colouring, what you're working on. So we're going to grab these for now, and then anything that we need to add in, we will do. So we're just going to go straight in for it. Right, let's head on in there. So we're going to just zoom in once. So is that nice and clear on your screens? Make sure it is. I'm going to move this for the moment so that we've got some room to manoeuvre, and I've got a little bit of room for movement at the side. So I've just pulled these up. There we go. So nice, and we've got some room because I'm here. I'm actually here because if I put it too far over, I'm over at the side. Hey, Rebecca. Yes, I can. I love your setup. So we're going to have a go with this. Is it all? Is the lighting good on your? Oh, is the lighting good on your screens before I continue? Oh, they're much, yeah, because they're nice and clear, aren't they? Okay, so let's just dive on in there. So I'm going to use the oval applicator first with the Pan Pastels. And I'm going to go on down there with the burnt sienna tint just to start with. So when you first start, it might be not messy as such, but it might have a little bit more of a mess. So what you're all colouring, what you're all doing for it. So we're going to just put your first starting point. And this is the burnt sienna tint. And don't forget, these are erasable. So if you get it over into your hair, your eyebrows, don't worry about that because you can erase it out with the battery erasers. So you can always do that. So we're going to get going with it. We're going to try and get as much done as possible that's humanly possible with our time. So I did come on an extra hour earlier. So it gives a little bit of time in between mine and Jen so that you can have, you know, your own time, go and grab your food and all of that. Hi, Pickle. Hi, Mona. Hi, Kelsey. So remember, if there's anything aimed at me, just put it in capital letters so I can get it in the corner of my eye. If there's anything, obviously, that you're talking amongst yourselves, then that can stay in small caps, but otherwise I might miss something. So I'm just putting a base down to start with before we add other colours in. And her neck, I'm assuming, is there. So, and I'm going to try and do the skulls in the pans as well. We're going to do literally the entire picture with pans. So we've got the first sort of coating down. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to do like coats and end up seeing where we get to. A huge welcome to everyone coming in. Let me just put my, hold on guys. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to bring you down just a tad. There we go. So I just wanted to bring you down so you can see a little bit better. Hold on. There we go. That's it. I can see you better. You're working on a misfit. You're working on my new debond here. Nice. That's got such fiddly little animals, isn't it? Okay, so I've got first. This is just literally just the first round. So I'm going to grab, see what this comes out with. This is the red iron oxide tin, and I want to give her a mask. You know, on Jasmine's girls, I want to just like plan this out. So they have a bit of a mask on them, and they also have the round the edges. I'm going to try and sort of follow what she does. So this is all pans to start. We might need to add a little bit of pencil shading, but hopefully we won't. And I plan on just trying to work on this today and seeing what we can do with it. And then hopefully we can get the most part of the pans done so that, you know, when we head on over to Jen's, we can see what else. What did you, oh, you got some more spectrum novels. Enjoy them, Janet. Yeah, I enjoyed yesterday. We had a marathon stream. For those of you that weren't there, we did the spectrum novels. We did the, what did we do? We finished off the Forest Girls and we just tested, did a blend test, did a swatch. So we did all of that. So all I'm doing at the moment is the red iron oxide tint. This is the tint. And I'm just adding in where I would like the outer edge to be with shading, and underneath her lip and round by her where I want this sort of mask. Yeah, so we're just starting first. UK time is 8 p.m. Francis. 8 p.m. So we're just starting. As I said, I'm still learning with pans. I'm still learning entirely. This is a completely new, medium to me. So we're going by that. Enjoy them, Di. Enjoy them. Okay, so I'm going to grab now some burnt sienna shade, and I'm going to just start laying in just where I want some extra shading to go. So just a bit of shadows around the edge to start with. This isn't going to be the final product. This is just where I'm starting to sort of plot down where I want things to go. And that's what I generally do with these. And that's been my method with them. I start to put down where I want stuff. So Tilly, off the blind. I've got a budgie that's on one today. I don't know what she's been on, but I blame Andrew. I said, what have you given her before I got up this morning? Tilly, come on. Come on. She was on one last night on stream, and now she's on another one today. Okay, so we're just putting in some brown before we put in the red tint, because it will tone that red tint down. So I'm just putting in shadows. Hi, anyone that's coming in. 1 minute. Andrew, can you get Tilly off the blind? Now it's back over to red iron oxide, now shade, which is a bit redder. No, don't clap, because it's going to make a noise. Oh my God, so he carries on. Okay, so I'm just putting down shadows. Like I did the first time round. And then we start, blending in and layering up. So we're just putting down red iron oxide shade. Oh, bless you, SMC. That's so sweet. Then we're going to go back to burnt sienna. And we're going to blend that in a bit. I'm glad you feel that way. That's so sweet. Okay, so I'm just concentrating here. I'm just kind of just going along with the flow. I'm going to do her a little bit darker here because she is a Halloween girl, so I don't want to pale. I need to get, before this looks, hi Linda, this doesn't look yet. I've got to start layering in stuff, so if you bear with me, we're going to get the colourless blender. I think this is, yep. So this is the colourless blender. So now we can start just adding in our layers. Can add some pinks and stuff as we go along, but I want her a bit darker. So I'm just going to go up. It's funny because when you start with the pan pastels, when you initially put stuff down on paper, you think, oh my gosh, what is this going to be? What am I doing? And then somehow, we're going to go to the colourless blender now. Somehow it all comes together. So you think, oh my gosh. Right, I'm going to grab my chisel tip and I'm just going to blend that in a bit in the middle. It's funny because I said to, I don't know, I can't remember who I was talking to about the pans. And I said, when you initially start, you think it's a hot mess. And it is. And you think, how am I going to, I'm just not going to fix this. I'm just now to the white. This is white fine. And you think this is not going to come together. And somehow, after a little while, with your shading, with your blending, with your, you know, mixing in your colours, it somehow does. And you don't know how that happens, but it does. It just manages to. So don't forget you can erase. So I'm going to grab some of that red oxide iron shade just around the edging. And this is the, see, it's like a pointed tip. Yeah, but you've got a lot of catching up to do on yours, Jen. We'll want to chat to you because we've got a lot of catching up to do with you, girl. So I'm here every week, you know. So it's different. What are you going to be working on today, Jen? Okay, so we're just starting to add and layer. Now I'm going to get some burnt sienna tint again. Just blend in. So we're just going to layer up blend before we start. Where is mute? You'll be listening to both. Nice. I'm just going to get some of that white. Just, you got to let, the thing is with pans, they are a learning process. So I don't even mind actually getting in there, and you can erase a bit and see what you can, you know, what you can achieve. It does take some time. They take time, they take practice, especially when you're learning a new medium. They do. They take time, practice, and patience. So don't forget, you can't put your hand down on the actual pans because you're going to end up smudging it. So you've got my, it looks like it's on, my hand is up. So then I'm going to get my colourless blender and I'm going to grab one of these and then we're going to start blending in. So it's a matter of layering and just seeing what desired result that you want personally. So again, I'm just grabbing the colourless blender. And then you can grab some of the pinky tones into her cheeks. Just keep going. I'm just playing at the moment and seeing. It does. It's like I was watching Dee Dee's Halloween one and she started and everyone must have thought at the beginning, oh my God, what's going on? She said the same. You're just you're putting the pastel down. How the desired result comes out at the end is totally different to how it starts when you first, you know, initially start your picture. And it changes entirely. So it's, hiya Mona. Hi everyone coming in. So we're just playing with pans at the moment and seeing what we can achieve. And I'm grabbing our blender into the middle. Now I might need, you'll see, I've got the eraser. This is the battery operated one. So you can erase all the lines out of your eyebrows. And the same if you've gone into the eye. You can erase that as well before we start adding in our colour to our eyelashes and our eyes and all of that. We're going to try and get as much done of this as possible, which might mean that I won't be as chatty in the stream, but I will be here and I will be chatting away and talking you through what I'm doing. 1 second, I just need to grab a baby wipe. Hi Amberly, hi everyone coming in. I just need to grab a bit of tissue and then we can start blending this out. Andrew, they were a gift and they're from Amazon, I do believe. Hold on guys. And in between doing the colours, so as you're grabbing the colours, don't forget to wipe off with a paper towel, wipe off your colours in between and have baby wipes. Hi Linda. Okay, have baby wipes at hand and look, it almost takes off that pigment. Okay, then we've got your white fine. So you've got all these different ones which are your blending mediums. So this is white fine, and white fine can be used to lighten up areas like your forehead, because that might be a lighter area. So it will bring more of a mask over the middle, but we do that and build that up as we go along. We can't be too quick with this. So that will just brighten up the middle. Then you can bring in some more burnt sienna and just blend that out at the edges and just play with your colours and see what you can do. So I'm just showing you with the erasable, you can erase, you can do all of that good stuff. You just have to take your time. Okay, so now I'm getting a little bit of the burnt sienna. Oh, 1 second. And I'm just trying to get in there on the side of the face and underneath here. I want to get some more on her nose and into her mask. So very lightly onto the mask. She has a mask on all of her gals. Can't wait to do the eyes. So you see, this is not blended. That's okay. Don't worry, you're here. It's fine. Don't worry yourself. The thing is, YouTube these days are not giving notifications as well. So we're grabbing some of that colourless blender and just blending out those edges on that mask. Yeah, they're having a really bad time in notifying people of, even if you've clicked their bells. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. It's just how they're sort of rolling at the moment. So you have to just check the channels, which, you know, sometimes you don't know when someone's on a bit earlier or a bit later, but YouTube's been having a really bad time in notifying people. Okay, so we're just putting in between the burnt sienna shade tin and the, what's the other one? Red iron oxide tin. So underneath her face here, I'm just going to grab some of that red iron oxide shade and then grab some of the burnt sienna tin. I'm going to shade some of that in. And the same with underneath here. So I'm going to grab some of the shade, red iron oxide shade. So we're just playing at the moment before we blend. We're not blending yet. And then the red iron oxide shade. So I want it darker. These are we're gonna attempt these as well. So, Honor. Hi, Honor. We're just having a play to start with before we start blending out. Okay, so I want her to have a little bit more of a pink tint in her cheeks. So I'm going to grab the permanent red tint and I'm going to add that into her cheek here. Bring that up and over. So can you see that? It comes in. So this is the permanent red tint. And then we can start blending and doing everything that we need to do. So can you see that before we start doing our other stuff to it? Yeah. Hi, Flory. So we got started. So now I need to add a little bit of like a blending So we're going to go for, hold on. So we're going to get some of the black, I think it's black fine. Maybe refresh, guys, who's having trouble. Are you having trouble with sound? Does the sound okay for everyone? I'm grabbing the black. This is the blending tool. I'm just getting some shade. Is people having issues? Okay, maybe they need to refresh. Hiya, Nick and Tina. Oh, you have sound now. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was just an issue. YouTube, as I said, I don't really know how to judge them at the moment. So I'm just grabbing, this is the medium set. And this is black fine and it's pearl medium. And it just adds like shadows and stuff in there. So you can get your shadows going on, you know, where you want them. So you can add if you want to. So don't forget with that one to wipe off as you go along because you're going to have black. So you want to wipe off and blend that in. And you can blend in with your colourless blender just to make sure that it doesn't smudge. So wipe off in between, get your colourless blender and make sure that you wipe off that in between each application. So just move from your colourless blender and your burnt sienna tint. And you can swap on over to your chiseled one. It's like a pointed one. And you just mix. So we're just mixing. So we need a little bit more of a darker mask there. Just bear with me because that's got a blend in. See, pastels are very workable, which is a good thing. You can work them in. You don't need to worry too much about the initial laydowns. You work in, and this is all we're doing. We're working in each step and seeing what we can do. So you can see there's a little bit of a mask, not too much of a mask, and we've got some other colours going on. So we're just working that in and seeing what we can come up with. Now, some of this will be done in pencils, and I am going to use Prismacolor pencils, but for now we're just initially starting this off. Oh, bless. Yeah. Thanks, Shara. I just read that. So I'm quite happy so far with what we've got. I think we need to add a bit of darker under here. So I'm going to go on over there to the red iron oxide, just a tad, because we need to just add a bit of shadowing. But don't forget, we're going to blend this out. So can you see that? So we're just trying the red iron oxide shade. Don't worry about, as I said, don't worry about going in the hair and all of that because you are going to erase. So it's all good. You're going to erase. You're going to erase anything that goes over into hair, anything that goes over to your eyebrows, because I want to go underneath the eyebrows slightly. So it's erasable. So what you've got initially isn't necessarily what you're going to have. Hi, Tracy Lee. Hi, Elizabeth E. Pickle, Sammy, did you get the markers? How did the markers? Yeah, well, we did that on stream. After that, my back had had enough, so I didn't do any more. But I loved them. I did love them. They are great fun. So thank you so much to Desiree. So now it's burnt sienna tint and just blend that in a bit. Yeah, no, they were good fun. I'm real happy with them. Real happy with them. They are a blast. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Reading Rebel. Thank you for joining. I've not seen you here before. Thank you for coming on over. So those of you who are new, thank you so much. Thank you, Phoenix. Okay, Melody, go and relax yourself. I hope you're feeling a bit better now. So I want to give this a little bit more of a pink tint in her cheeks. So I might just grab another pink, just a tint of it. Which seems really pink, but we're only going to add a tiny bit of the magenta. And it is literally just touching it into that. It's a touch here. I just want her to be quite rosy. So just a bit of the magenta, and again, you're going to mix that with some blender so that it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So wipe off after every application. Oh, we got 99 of you. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. We're just playing around with the pans to start with. This will be the fun bit, the skulls. And we've got a reference over there, our little skull that's in our thumbnail. Okay, so now I think what I might do is blend out with the colourless blender towards the middle. We're going to add some detailing in with Prismacolors. So these are versatile, the pans, and they do take time and practice. So can you see we're just blending that out? So just a good little blend going on. I will look in the chat in a minute. It's really hard to look in the chat. Yeah, she does. She's on at 8 p.m. my time. So it's 3 o'clock Eastern, I think. Yeah, Jen is then. I know, we all miss Jen. It'll be great. And she's got a 3-hour slot. It's like, woohoo! 3 hours, which is great. It could go on even longer. We just keep her there all night. So I've just got some burnt sienna tint, and I'm just blending that in a bit. So with her cheeks, they're quite rosy. So on this side, we need a tad more shading. So I'm going to get some red iron oxide tint a bit into this little mix here and just darken up this corner. Oh, no sleep. You need sleep. You need sleep, Linda. Thank you so much. Linda, bless her heart, sent the pearlescent colours of the pans, which we'll look out in a minute. She didn't have to do that at all. Okay, so we're adding red iron oxide tin, and then we're going to get some burnt sienna. Burnt sienna. This is the true colour. And then we're going to blend that in with some burnt sienna tin on the edge, so that we got some deeper colour going on, but not too much of a noticeable one. Oh. Hi, Kate. Who's coming in? Okay, so hi, Sandy. I'm just scrolling up. Oh, I'm so glad that your first time. Is it Kate Law? Hi, Essie. Hi, huge welcome to everyone that's coming in. Huge hello. So thank you very much for coming on over. So we're just trying with pans for skin, and then we're going to go in a little bit with some pencils, but we won't need too much. So I want to get this mask in the middle a little bit more prominent, but I don't want to then add too much of a different colour. So I might do some burnt sienna. 1 minute, we have to just start this off and then get some burnt sienna tint and sort of darken that up a bit, but I don't want it too noticeable, so bear with me. So I've got to wipe off in between applications so that we've got a noticeable middle, but not too much. So this is now red iron oxide tint, and I just want to kind of work that in. So we've got a mask in the middle of her because she has a mask. So I'm just using these tools. For the eyes, we're going to use the smaller tools. And for underneath of her neck, we're going to mix in some burnt sienna shade and just mix between them and shadow that up. So do I make sense so that I'm not waffling on too much? Hi, Laura J. Hi, everyone. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We are now fiddling with pans. So we want the middle. And then we're going to use some... We're going to turn these tools. The good thing is these come off, and we are going to turn that over so we've got a clean edge. make sure we got a clean edge, and then we're going to put in some colourless blender, and we're going to blend that middle in into that middle, so that we've got a difference between the mask. You see the mask? She's got a mask on her, girls, and that's what we're going to try and go with. So we're going to blend out those edges with the colourless blender Pan Pastel, and I'm just literally working that in before we move on and put some detailing in. And we're also going to do the eyes, and then we'll come in with our pencil. Oh, 1 minute, Pickle. I didn't see what you said. Oh, Pickle. Thank you so much, Josie. Bless you. Okay, so then I think we're just going to get a touch more of the magenta, just to darken that up a bit, because I want her rosy cheeked. So we're going to drag that down into those colours. So it's magenta. We're just using pans at the moment, and then we're going over to the eyes, and then we're going to add all the pencil in. So we might actually get some of this going. Hi, Silver Mist. That's okay. Take care. Hi to everyone that's joining me. And then the burnt sienna shade, I'm just going to come up a little bit and just make this more sort of noticeable. You know, like her nose coming up. So now you need to get the little tool, you know, these little ones, and colourless blender in. I don't want it too noticeable. So pastels do have some dust. You know, I know they're not as chalky, but they do have a dust when you're working with them quite a lot. So we're just going on in there with the red iron oxide tint, and then same as underneath. Now, smaller detailing is really good with these little tools. So underneath her lips and the eyelids, and the same with these little tear ducts. So red iron oxide tint into all of this. So just keep on practicing with those tones. So can you see? It's just got some more details. Thank you, Elisa. We're trying. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, you know. I think with any new medium, it's great. So it's great to see that so many people are excited for this event. This is how Jen got me into YouTube last year with this event. She got me in by telling me that I should have done it and then telling me that maybe we should do a cozy colouring night. And that is how this channel started. So it all started because Miss Jen over there. So yeah. Now, I don't know if you can see how deep those colours are, but they are really quite deep. So if I bring it up a bit, you can see this is not completed yet. We're just getting colours down. I know. Oh, thank you, Jen. Oh, you can't. There's so many books, isn't there? Oh, a drink of tea. There's so many books to choose from, especially Halloween books. Okay, so with the eyes, let's make sure we haven't got any pastel there. So we'll grab a paintbrush because I don't want to smudge it. What I'm going to do is work top to bottom. So got to be careful with this bit, but in the hair here, let's take out that pastel that we've put in there. So just rub on. The good thing with this is they rub straight out. So you can erase all of this area because we're going to add details and stuff after. We're getting all our base down. Okay, so we're going in the eyebrows again. And then instead of getting your hand, you can just move all that off with a paintbrush. Just move it on off of there, off. Right, I'm going to give her green eyes, guys. So we need the green. I'm going to move these a minute and then we'll move on to greens. And then before we do any more on skins and fixing up, and we've got the base coat down, which is the good thing. So I'm just going to move these pastels over. So we need our blending mediums, which are those ones. And then we're going to get the tray. Excuse my arm. Hi, everyone joining. Huge welcome. Thank you for coming on over. Okay, so I'm going to get the light green. So I'm going to go for permanent green. And then I'm going to go for a darker green, which would be, if I grab my chart, we'll have a look at the greens. So we have all these beautiful greens here. And we can go for permanent green. The lightest one would be permanent green tin, which we need to find, which might be this one over here. So that would be our base coat. So let me find it, guys. Let me find it. I will find it. I think it's that one. Yeah. So we'll go for a really light one, like these two. That will be our undertone. Then there is like permanent green extra dark, which might be for our, or we can go for, here we go, phthalo green. Is that right? Did I say it right this time? We can go for a phthalo green, which is a nice green. And we can go for the shade and maybe the extra dark if you want to. We can go for chrome extra dark. We can go for the phthalo one. So we did it this right. I did it right this time. So be mindful of where your arm's going to go when you're doing this part. Now we need these tiny little ones. These are great. I'm going to grab a piece of paper so that I don't smudge. And we're going to get our next details down. And then we can start adding all details and our extra parts that we're doing and all that. Hi, Victoria. How are you doing? So let's head on in there with that. So with the eyelashes, we can go over in pencil because don't forget you've got pastel over that. So I'm just going to grab this so I don't smudge. So I'm going to go first in with the chrome oxide green tint, and I'm going to put a base of that in. Just straight in with a base. Just right over the eyes. Is it all good in your screens? Yeah? So straight on in there with that colour. Wipe off, and then with my eyes, I might have to bring you down a tad, or you might be all right. I don't know. You might be okay. Hold on. Hi, Susie. We're going to now get the next shade up, which is permanent green. So just the permanent green, no tint shade. It's the true to colour, which is this one here. You see that one? We're going to just start touching on in there some of this. Not too much, just lightly with this one. Just from the top, we're going to add some in, just a touch, because we can start layering up the other colours. So we're just going to bring that round. And then again on this side, these eyes are nice and big. I'm finding with the pan pastels, when you do the eyes, you need the bigger space to do them, to do all of the the shading, the blending and all of that. So we're just putting a touch of the permanent green, go around the edge. Don't worry about going over the eyes because you can erase. So we're going to do green eyes because I'm going to do these as green little emeralds in her hair. So I'm going to try and get done as much as we can. We'll give you some great, some good time in between. Oh, there is a couple, but I don't know, Holly. I mean, we don't have a huge amount in here. In Covent Garden, there's a big one. I'm going to go for the phthalo green shade. I remember this now from last time when you was all laughing at me. And then we're going to start bringing up, go around the edge and just bring up some colour. just very lightly drag. Can you see the motion that I'm doing? Desiree, I think it would soak up too much of the colour. These don't soak up. So I'm just dragging up and round. I think the reason why people don't use them is that they don't soak up the colour. There is a big art shop in Covent Garden, Francis, yeah. There is loads, Susie. There's, are the pans named after the prisoners? No, but they've all got similar coloured names. So the names are all the same. So I'm just, the thing is with the tools, and there are a couple of tools that you can get that aren't for the pan pastels, but the pan pastel ones are made specifically so that they don't soak up the colour and they go down on your paper. I think the Q-tips would end up taking too much of the colour off the pastel and you wouldn't have a massive lay down with them because they soak, don't they? Okay. So I'm just pulling this colour in before we drag any more others in there, and I'm just going from the top and I'm just dragging colour up so that we've got this effect. And if I bring it closer, you'll see what so we've got like an effect that we're doing. So you're dragging the colour up and down. So when you get the pans, if I grab some of that colour, you pull up like that. I might bring the camera down to you. Ah, thank you. So you grab some more of the colour. Thanks, Mona. Yeah, no, Desiree, they are. But the thing is, with the small ones, it's going to go over the space, but you can erase them. You've got your nose. So you're just pulling that colour up like that. So you've got this effect. And then you're going to get in some black and you're going to get a darker green in there. So what I might do, everyone, if you bear with me, you're going to go on a trip now. Hold on. There you go. All right, so you're a bit nearer. So you're just dragging that colour in. And then if you grab some of the phthalo green extra dark, not the shade, you're going to go even darker with this one. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. If I bring, oh, look, I've buggered it up now. Hold on, everyone. You're going on a ride. You're going on a ride. Oh, no, my tripod. There we go. You went on a ride for a minute. Okay, so I have to bring you nearer. I know. So this is the extra dark. This is why I don't fiddle with my camera too much. Thank you. The extra dark phthalo green will bring in even darker amounts so that you can add that detail in. I'm so sorry. It's because I fiddled with it. I had it all set up and then it just went off balance. So then you went for a ride. Okay, so we're bringing, can you see that like effect that the pans do? So you bring that in and just keep with that flicking motion and just keep going back to your pan. So like get your pan, just dab, literally dab, and then you can bring some from this is going to be black, so you're going to go on with a black like fine liner and just keep bringing that up, and then with the top you want that dark anyway. And then if you want to, you can get some of your mediums, which is your coarse or your fine, and it's the black fine pearl medium, and you get it in the medium set. Hi, Tatty. Yeah, I'm here. And then with this, you can add in the last of your effect. And don't forget, you can erase after. That's the thing. The pans will make a bit more of a mess. They won't go straight in how you originally want. They will make a bit of a mess. And that just adds in any last details. Ah, see, these are a complete new medium to me, Gray. So that's like kind of just, you know, playing around This is the second time more or less using them. So we're not using them like seriously yet. We're just trying to get everything down so that we can work with them. So yeah, that's how we're going to do those. We could go for the green lips like we did last time. So if we go for green lips, we need to erase before we add the details in. Erase the lips of the colour that's already there pre-existing because we went over the lines. So get all that off. And then we can add all our details in soon with pencil. Yeah, I'm great at making a mess. You should see the mess in front of me. Great at it. So I'm now going to get chrome oxide green tint. We're going to give it green lips. We're going to go over the entire area with the green. Then we're going to grab our next one, which is the permanent green. So this is true to colour. And from the corner, I'm going to drag some of that colour in. And we're going to go sort of around the edge of the lip and up into these areas here. And keep with this really, 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 really lightly. Then I'm going to get the phthalo green shade. And now I'm going to start deepening this up. And then we're going to get our pencils, guys, and we're going to start mixing that around. And then once we've done the face and everything, we're then going to move on to the skulls. So now we need the darkest shade, and then we'll blend. And this will be the phthalo green extra dark. And the phthalo green extra dark will be our darkest colour. We're going from this corner up. And now we can blend in with our lightest colour, which is the chrome oxide green tint. And we can blend that in a little bit. So darkest. Hi, Louise Nunn. Yeah, Rebecca, this is the one that I'm going to go and spray with in a minute. So this is the Spectrafix Fixative. Ah, thank you, Rebecca. Hiya, Sky. How are you doing? I don't know from Britain. Doesn't get. Oh, bless. Yeah, you know what? You know someone now. Oh, Rebecca. Yes, get on in there. That's my whole mantra. Jump on in there. I'm just going to zoom out so you can see a bit better. Okay, so just back onto the chrome oxide green tint, and this will just literally be your blending medium because you don't need the blend. The blend is the colour itself. So I can get some of the black, which is the fine medium, and just into this part here, where the lips would close, we're going to just grab some of that. And then I'm going to chat to you guys for a minute whilst this dries because I'm going to spray it. I'm going to spray it with some fixative just in the bathroom. Yes, happy birthday for yesterday, Sky. It was Sky's birthday yesterday. I hope you had a great, amazing day, my dear. Was it good? Did you have a good time? What did you do? Did your husband spoil you? I do hope you got some colouring stuff. So now they're kind of done, I'm just going to get the eraser just around the edge of the eye before we spray this. So just around the edge because we've fixed the colour that we want. So just around. And that just takes off any additional stuff that you don't need. And don't worry about the eyelashes being sprayed because we can work over that with a pen. So that to me is okay for now before we add details in with the pencil. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm just going to spray that. I will be like 2 seconds. We'll spray that. It is a workable fixative. So I'm going to be back and I'm going to lift you up again so you can see all the pastels are there now. And I'm just going to put that in the screen so you've got something there. So just 2 seconds and I'm just going to spray this. I'm just going to spray it. Okay, I'm back. I just needed to spray it. That just needs to dry a minute, and I'm going to grab the pencils now. So as you can see, it gets a little wet. So that is before we move on to doing the skull. We'll add our details in now. So with the pans, you will need to spray them in between. The downside with it is it does need, when you spray them, they do get a little bit wet. So I don't know if it picks it up on screen, but you have to allow that to dry. So I can talk to you guys now while I'm waiting for a minute. So how is everyone that's joined? You've got 100, oh, we've got 135 in here. So thank you everyone for being here. That'll be good if it doesn't run away. So we're having an unseasonably warm autumn at the moment. And it's actually pretty warm today. So this is just pans. We've not put anything else in. We'll start adding our details in. So we need our prismas next, and then we'll move on to the skulls next with that, with the pans. Oh, they're here soon. Oh, bless you, Desiree. Oh, thanks, Luke. We're having the perfect pose today. Yeah. Oh, you've got 40 degrees. Raining. I love listening to the rain. I'm not sure I like going out in it, but I do love listening to it. So anyone joining, this is Jen's Cozy Colouring Night, and we're both doing a stream. So I'm just giving myself 2 seconds to allow that to dry, and then we are now going to add some Prisma detailing in before we carry on with the pans. So I'm just wiping because I'm a bit of a clean freak and I need to wipe and do everything in between. There we go, nice and clean. So with this now, this is just my cheap top that I use to just get comfy in. Okay, so is it nice and clear on your screens about what I'm going to do next? Because now we're going to move on. Before I fix the skin, I'm going to fix the eyes first and the lips. So we need a fine liner, and the fine liner that I'm going to grab is going to be the Copic multi-liner, which is a 0.3. We also need a Posca, and that's going to be our eyes. Thanks, Francis. Hi, Kenny. How are you doing? I didn't see you. Come on in here. I'm going to put you at a slant so you can see as well, so that you can have a better view, because it's better on an angle, isn't it? Okay, so now with the eyes, I don't feel that I need to put any pencil on the eye. I am going to bring you over here. So with the eyes, I don't need, is it nice and clear? That's not blurry, is it? So with the middle, I'm just going to put the Copic fine liner into the iris in the middle, the little ball, just to add those in. And then, so you can see it's really minimal. So we're still a little bit wet. It's not completely dry. That's the thing. The only downside to that Spectrafix is that it is quite wet. And I might need to run the dryer over it. So, Kenny, not that I've been on an hour, but for the first few minutes, you know, I'm just playing with pans at the moment. So with the eyes, I think what I'm going to do is add just some little bit of black Prisma, not too much, because we've got enough of the medium in there. So I want to make the tops of it a little bit darker. So this is just a black Prisma. And then you can come around the iris and you can just, you know, in short lines, just bring up little lines, and it just makes an effect in the eye. And then the same at the tops, and the eyelashes we're going to do with the fine liner after. So it just redefines the eyes. So the same with the tops here. We're going to add some of the black Prisma. And again, you're just going to sort of drag up these little detailed lines. Now, this has quite good, it is a workable fixative, but it's also, it does fix it. So it's pretty good. So we're just bringing some of that detail up. And same with that. So it's just like it's quite an effective way of doing eyes. And then if you get your Posca, and you live in Louisiana as well. That's where Desiree's from. So we're also going to just do some Posca squares here. And then underneath, I'm just going to do a little detail just to add. I don't want too much. Just enough to add a little bit of... Hi, Corey. That's okay. Thanks for popping in. Just enough to add a bit of detail, but not overwhelming. I don't want to overflood her eye. Just enough to have a little bit of details. And it's the same I'm going to do on this side. So I'm going to do a bigger square here, a smaller square here. You can do this however you like. You can add your details in. So I'm just adding detail, and then underneath, again, I'm just going to add some little sparkle, and then I'm just going to put a tiny little line over each eye. So that's how the eyes are finally just going to be. Ah, there you go. That's it. Which is the one in Shoreditch? You've got one in Shoreditch. I haven't visited any. Hi, Amberly. Phoenix, try them. And then on her lips here, I'm going to add just a line here and underneath, and then we're just going to do a little shine, and on top just a little shine there. So just some shining up. Can you see that okay? Hi, Kelly Bond. So I'm going to turn the lighting down a bit so you can see. So that is all the Posca detailing that I personally want on the eyes and on her lips. The eyelashes will do last, because that otherwise may run into other things. So it's just, that's all the pans. You don't need to really do much else with the pencils. That's, yeah, life first, isn't it? Life first. So the eyes and the lips for me are just pretty much done. Now with her skin, is that dry? Yeah. So with the skin, we're just going to add a little bit of detail. I don't want to add too much. I do, however, want to put some purple into the skin tone. So we're now going to add our colours in. So we're going to grab some purple, some peach. This is all Prisma colours, purple, peach. We're going to grab a tiny bit of henna, and we're going to get our black and espresso. We don't need to overwhelm this, because the majority of the work is done itself with the pastels. So we're now going to just move on over to the, we're going to grab first our henna. You can get a piece of paper if you want to lean on. I'm personally just going to lean on the skull part so that I'm not touching the pastel. So I'm going to bring this over so you can see, and I'm also going to bring this light on over so that it's a bit brighter for you. Hi, Desiree. That's okay. Oh, you're working on a Halloween. Nice. So with her face, I'm grabbing the henna, and I don't want to do too much detail because we've blended, really. We've done with the pastels. So you can just add any additional shading and detail with your Prismas and see what you can come up with. But the majority of it's been done, hasn't it? So you can just grab on in there and see what you can do now and what details you can add additional to what you've already done. So I've not seen that. Just note when you post your progress today, be sure you use the code. Yep, use the hashtag for the cozy colouring over on Instagram and also over on the Reading with Pugs group if you're joining in today and you're doing like a day of, you know, colouring, or even if you don't manage to get anything done but you're joining in and you've got a cozy setup, do share so that me and Jen can see. And then the mods, Tati, Mona, they will all be able to see it as well. Let's turn your brightness up a bit. What progress? I know, I'm like that. So when Jen streams later, you know, I'm never going to get anything done. Anything in a million years. I'll be too busy talking. See, because it's nice for me because I'm usually on this end doing the colouring and the talking on stream. So when I actually join a stream, I love to sit and chat. So for me, it's like trying to, failing miserably and sitting there just really enjoying it. So we've got henna. I'm just going in with henna to add a bit of shading. And don't forget, if you're working on pastel, you have to fix it down before you overly work the pencils. Otherwise, you're going to lift the pastels up. Hold on. Oh. Ah, thank you, Sky. Yeah, I'll go and chat, Joe, about 100 times later. Hiya, Erica. How are you? Okay, so this is just still henna before I move on to any other colour. I'm just bringing that on her eyelids. This bit I'm going to do with the peach around her eyes there. And with the cheeks, I can just if I really want to, I can go over a little bit with some more pink. But I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out so far. I don't feel that I need to. And under her lips here, I'm just going to shadow that up a bit. I'm just going to reintroduce some of that nose that we had going on. Can you see? Now I'm going to grab some peach. Very lightly, I'm just going to blend out that henna into the pastels. And then again on the other side, just where I've put, just only on the places I've put the henna down. So we're just using that sort of add. Can you see that okay? Thank you so much. I know you're in French. I'm so sorry, I don't understand French. I know it said something nice. I don't know what it was. Okay, so now I'm actually going to get the Parma Violet before I head on in with any other colour. Okay, so I'm just getting the Parma Violet. And I'm just, hi Caroline. I'm just going to put some extra shading with Parma Violet. This is all Prismas, so it's Pan Pastels, mostly Prismacolors in there as well. So again, with the hairline here, I'm just going to drag some of that Parma Violet up, and we're going to just pull some of that colour in with the henna. And with this mask in the middle, I'm going to get the light peach over that. So just underneath her cheek, onto her cheek here. And we're going to grab some of that Parma Violet. So kind of see that it's going to go together. Got a question. When doing skin and you want to add blush, do you put it on before or after? Me, I personally add it on after and blend it in. But that's just me. But everyone's got a different method. I do it after. I personally do it after. So if I want to add any more onto that. So with the light peach in the middle, I'm just going to go over that mask a bit. So this is the light peach now. I'm just going to blend that out slightly, just a little bit. You see that? So she's got a mask. I know. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's wonderful to see new people. So I'm just adding in the Parma Violet and the light peach. So the Parma Violet's just been put down, and then the light peach is going to just shade the edge out. And that just enables that to blend in. Yeah. So that just is enough to just, you know, have something down on the paper. Now I'm just going to grab my peach to go over slightly on those cheeks. Just where I put the blush down. So the blush is already there, and now I'm just going in with the peach. This is not the light peach, this is the peach. And with the nose, I'm just going to go on her little nose here, just to kind of blend in some of that Parma Violet. And that's kind of how it's going to look. If I move this from underneath, guys, hold on, bear with me, because it's awkward for me to use it otherwise. There we go. There we go. Can you see okay? Is it all right on your screens? And I'll leave the eyebrows and stuff for it in a moment. So with her eyelids, I'm going to get my peach, and I'm just going to go over this area with peach and very lightly shade. Not much, just enough to show that you've got that skin rather than anything else. And then you can take out that line. So with a Posca, I'm just going to take out this little line here, because I don't want that line. Just not all of it, just a bit of it. And I'm going to go over with peach when it's dry, so that it blends in. So when that's dry, I'm going to go over with the peach. I might want to go to the edge a bit, actually. So you can go over those with peaches. You don't have to keep it white. I quite like the white effect, though. If you look at it, it has an effect to it when it's left. Oh, thank you, Paula. Hi, Paula. How you doing? So I've now got the espresso. This is for the final shade. I'm going to go under the eyebrow, under here, slightly. That's okay. Have a good time, Frank. And then same with under here, her nose slightly, and her lips. This is espresso. Espresso is the alternative to using black, and it shadows enough so that you don't have to harshly shadow with black. So I'm going to go underneath her cheek here as well. So I've kind of gone over the line there, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to erase anything that may have gone on the skull, because I can't wait to do the skulls. The skulls are going to be fun. That's our next mission. That'll be fun. Okay, and then with the light peach, I'm just going to blend that out a bit. And just do that again over on this side of her. So we've got our espresso. It's just enough to shadow. The shadowing with espresso, as I said, is just less harsh. And then you grab your light peach, and that will be enough. Right, so what's happening in chat for a minute? When we come over to chat. Yeah, so over on Reading with Pugs group, it's called Reading with Pugs Colouring, spelt the US way, not the UK way. So drop the U. You can share your setups, your pictures for today. We share it anytime, but if you're doing for today, don't forget to hashtag it Cozy Colouring Night. Jen will be streaming at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 8 p.m. for London time, if you want to head on over to Jen after. Okay, so we've kind of done the face. I don't really want to fiddle with her face too much. I'm quite happy with how that came out, because this pan pastels, it's a little bit harder to do. And with her eyes there, now that that white Posca is dry, I'm just going to grab my peach and go over that white line so that it's blended in with her. Not hard, because you'll scratch the Posca away, but it blends in with that under her eye. We can add a little bit of grey. So I'll show you how to do the other part of her eye. So if you could get a grey, so I'm just going to grab a 30% cool grey. You can add some grey into the iris, or not the iris, it's the eyeball. So grab some grey and just shade that in slightly. And then if you get a red or a henna, so ever so slightly, just shade in grey to an eye, not too much. You can then get your henna and drag a few very faint. I'll bring the paper up so you can see, like, just these little lines, like veins. So I don't know if the camera will pick that up, probably not. But she's got these tiny little veins. Ah, thank you, Paula. That was pan pastels. So I've put these tiny little veins. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but they're tiny. They're minuscule. And that just adds like a more of an effect in. So yeah, I quite like that effect. And then if you want to go over her eyelashes, grab your Copic fine liner and you just reapply very fine, go over the eyelashes. So I'm just going to put in at the edges. I'm not going to go fully in yet because I don't want to. So we just reapply at the ends. So just keep on in there, but don't forget you have got pastels over it, so it does dull it down a bit, and that's not how it will look. So I'm just going to do it with the edges with the fine liner, and I'll fill in the rest with pencil. So the fine liner is waterproof, so if you did get the page wet, this won't move. You have to have a waterproof fine liner. If you do it with like a Stabilo, you're going to end up smudging it. It's going to run into your work. So that's the good thing with this, is that this is waterproof. So you're just reapplying, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it's just around the edges at the moment. It just reapplies and helps it stand out. And it's the same with this. We're going to go over this one. Just over, keep going over the existing eyelashes. And then you fill in the rest with the black pencil. But the edges, you can go in with the fine liner so that you don't have any smudging. And allow that to dry. So we just add that back in. So I'm just going over, and then I'll come over into chat. Yeah, it's the same one, Tatty. It's the Copic Multi-Liner 0.3. This is great. And it is not water. It's waterproof. It doesn't smudge. It literally does not budge. So if you are spraying over the pastels with your Spectrafix, which makes the page wet, this won't move. So I'm just putting onto the edge. And then I will get my pencil and put the black in so that that stands out. So I'm just sorry for a second. I've not been a very good host. I'm not in the chat for a minute. It's because I'm so into this. This is the thing. When you start with your mediums and you get stuck on in there, you're sacrificing chat. And it's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay, so that is just to redefine it. And then we'll get the black Prisma, and that will just go over all of this. And it will, then you don't have to do that all with a fine liner. You can just get your pencil and it can reapply all that black, and then you don't have to take your time with a little fine line, and the Prisma will do it 10 times quicker. You can save your hands some hassle here. Okay, so can you see how much darker that makes it? So you can just reapply all that black back in. I'll do the other eyelashes, and then we'll move on to the skulls. And we're going to use our little fella here that we got on the side for our inspiration, but we might add a bit of grey in as well. But he's more of a like beige tone, I suppose. Okay, so we got that in, and then we can reapply. So they stand out again, don't they? So are you all having a good time so far today? There we go. You all enjoying your pictures? So that is her eyes, and they are reapplied. Oh my goodness, that is very, very early for you, Shara. So that is just reapplied back in, and then they stand out. Now with her eyebrows, I'm not quite sure on her hair colour yet, so I'm not going to do the eyebrows just yet. So we're going to move on to the skull, which will be exciting. So I don't need these colours at the moment. So they are the greens, so I have to move those. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to turn the lighting up for you. That's where we've got so far. Yeah, I need to get some drink in a minute. I just need to move that so that we've got some room. So we need to look at this guy here and see what colours we can do the skull. Okay, so before we do any more on the hair, we need to look at the skulls. It's a really good skull. I love it. So I might have to bring the tripod up. Okay, so I'm thinking you're going to get motion sickness for a minute, everyone. Just bear with me because I've got to fiddle with the tripod. You're going to get motion sick. Right, because you're at you've got to come up. That's it. Okay, so what I was thinking for this one, because I want to do along these colours. So we've got this great little skull here. You're having a shimmy up the tripod. Okay, so we've got this here. And I'm thinking for the skull, we can go for these sort of, you can see it's like a beigey yellow, but in the middle you've got these like grey browns, and I thought this one might be a little bit of inspiration. But see, on this one, there's more of these other like really dirty colours in there. Look, you've got some like really browns and whites and creams and grey. There's just a different load of colours in here. So I thought we might use this chap here for some inspiration beside us and use them for these skulls. So I'm pretty happy with how the skin and the eyes and lips came out. That was just with pans. So we didn't use anything really with pencil. We only a little bit of detail with pencil, didn't we? So I thought this might be a good inspiration. So if we grabbed things like I don't think yellow ochre. Let's have a look at the charts. So we're going to have a look at, it's going to have browns in there. So an undertone of this might, definitely got some orange extra dark in there, which is this one up here. And we've also got some raw umber tint, but we've also got some yellow, like yellow ochre tint as well. So we're going to have a good mix of colours here. So we're going to get the yellow ochre tint, which will be, is this yellow ochre tint? Yeah, so it'll be like this one as an underbase. And then we can add in some raw umber tint, which will be this here. So let's look, what's the raw umber? That's this one. So we've got some colours already that we're sort of thinking along the lines of. Then we've got raw umber, which will be our darker part. So you've got raw umber shade, but you need raw umber as well. So that's burnt sienna. We need a raw umber. We've got a yellow ochre. We don't really need that one. That's burnt sienna. That's red iron oxide. I don't know where that one is. I can't find it. So we've got these sort of colours at the moment. Definitely need to get something else in there. Raw umber. So orange extra dark, maybe. Where's our raw umber? I can't find my raw umber, everyone. It's done a runner. It's grown a pair of legs and gone. Definitely gone somewhere. I don't know where it is. Might put a bit of grey tint in there. I'm not quite sure. But I'm trying to think that maybe this will be our undertone. I'm going to have to move these pencils. Here's the lightest one. But we're just going to have a go and see what we can do. And again, we're going to use our pencils after to do some shade. Yeah, I think he has nicked it. I'm sure the man's gone and taken it somewhere. I can't find it. Maybe it's just, it's got a pair of legs and moved. Hi, Candy. How are you doing? So, hold on. I think we'll start with those and see how we get on. All right. You're all right at that distance because you can get a clearer picture of what I'm doing, and then we've got them all in the screen. So, the colours at the moment I've picked out are yellow ochre tint, raw umber shade, orange extra dark, and raw umber tint. Did I get that one? Yeah. So we've got them. Hi, Alice. Hi, anyone that's come and I've not said hello to you. Huge, huge hello. Huge hello. So with these little bits into here, with the darker colours, I think we'll get on in there with the little brushes, this one. But for now, I'm going to use these two tools. And don't forget you need some paper tissue, which you wipe off in between applications. So make sure they're nice and clean. Hold it down. The way to do these is hold the tissue down and just rub, but don't rub too hard because they'll start to like crumble and break. And it's the same with this one. So just hold it down. Get enough of the pastel off, but again, you don't want to do too much because you will end up breaking it. So you've got to just hold it down. And then if you want to get another tool, you can use this one as well. So we're going to first put down yellow ochre tint, and we're going to start off with this colour. So the top, I'm going to like do from the top to bottom. Hold on. So we're going to do top to bottom, and from the top we're going to use it as our lightest part, and from down here I think as we do shadows around sort of here. So we've got our lines for our shadows. We're just going to initially put down this colour, and don't worry about going on the hand. We've still got the hand, which is the skin, but we don't have to worry about that. We're not worrying about hands and all that stuff at the moment. We'll do the rest of that another time, but we want to get as much done as we can. But I want to do the skulls before I worry about the skin. Okay. Hi, Christine. So anyone that's joining late, we are using Pan Pastels today, and we're using it for the Cozy Colouring Night Halloween. Don't forget, straight after me, you've got a little bit of a break, and then Jen's going on at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. London time. And that will be for part 2, and Jen will be doing her Halloween picture, Jen. Thank you, thank you. And then there will be a second lot, so you get a second instalment of Cozy Colouring. And don't forget to join in, guys. Like, join in with your pictures, join in with the fun, join in with your setups. You can do it over on Instagram, over on the Reading with Pugs group. You can do all of that. Hi, Martina, welcome back. So you will also need on this one. You're not organised. I had mine picked out ages ago. I was like, yes, I'm doing that. I knew exactly what I was doing. Okay, so we need the colourless blender. You need the white fine. Desiree, that's okay. You have a good day, and that's fine. I'll speak to you later. And then I think I'm going to get in some of the orange extra dark. I don't think I want too much of this. So we're going to start adding in this extra dark part where I want the shading to go. So we'll go in here. So this is not our final. Don't forget, we're not blending in yet. We're just putting down where we want this. So we go underneath her hand. Don't worry about going in her hand with colour. We're going to go underneath the, let's move that, underneath the socket. So we'll go where we want our shading to go, probably around the top of the head. So just plot where you want these colours to go. So we go down there, up into here, wipe off, grab some of the raw umber shade, and that will be our darkest colour into this part here. So we're going to go in on those with that colour. So we're just plotting our colours out first. Oh gosh, honestly, you'll be doing more talking because you haven't been around. So people are going to be like, Jen, where you been? That might be a bit too... Let's try that one. So that's a bit more yellow. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so this is yellow ochre shade, and I'm just going to drag, and I'm just dropping in slightly where I want this to go before we start blending. So again, that's kind of where I want those colours to go. Now we can start using our lightest shade. That's what they're about though, aren't they? It's because I would be the same if I'd not been streaming for a long time. I don't think I'd get anything done, but that would be fine. So I'm just using the yellow ochre tint just to blend that in a bit. So I'm just grabbing on over. I'm literally dabbing. I dab. I don't like swipe. And then I'm just kind of following that line along. Don't worry about too much blending at the moment because you're going to build that up as you go along. The thing is, that's the whole thing of a live show. That's what I personally love about live shows. You can chat to people and you can have a good time. This is the raw umber tint, and I'm going to drop some of that in, and it's like a grade colour. So I want that quite heavily put in there. So that changes that light up. Oh, hold on. We'll put the little guy's hand up there. I'm going to try and get these colours right. I am going to try. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'm going to try. So I'm not going to do them exact, but I'm going to get them sort of halfway there. So again, I'm going to pick out, this is the raw umber shade. And this, you build up as you go along. So we add, don't forget we can add our details and stuff in with pencils after. But for now, we're just going to crack on with the pencils. Yeah, I love all the talking as well. And we're going to go back around the edge. That's the whole thing. That is the whole thing of a live show. And I know they're not for everyone. You know, I quite often get a message, talk too much. Don't like the talk. I don't like the fact that this is a live show. Can't you do these with being filmed? No. No. That's the whole point in them for me. I'm here. I'm talking. No. Okay, so we're kind of getting there on where we want. Now, I don't know if you've seen them, but there's like cracks in skulls that we're going to add. Oh. So we'll add that in after, but I'm just showing you what we're sort of heading for. So I'm going back to the yellow ochre tint, and I'm going to bring some of that up. It's going to muddle it in a bit, but that's fine, because if you look at this, he's got different little colours going on. He's got dark patches. He's got more dark, you know. It might have been an accident. Yeah, Candy, it was probably an accident. It sometimes happens. Don't take it personal, honestly. It was probably an accident, sweets. It sometimes happens by accident. Yeah. Sometimes, everyone, don't get offended. It might have been an accident. It wouldn't have been anything like that. Sometimes it's really easy to do it. Yeah. It wouldn't have been you, honestly. It's probably when someone else, maybe. So raw umber tint. Just going back over. And then I'm going to pick up some of, orange extra dark. And just bring that in. Yeah, long but hi, Gracelyn. Okay, so we're just bringing that in. So we're going between the raw umber shade and the orange extra dark here. So just bringing that under. Just don't worry about the lines and going over lines at the moment. Yeah. Thanks, Tatty. So, I mean, it's just sometimes it's an accident. It's nothing personal. So we get some raw umber tint. And then I'm going to bring some of this orange extra dark in. Just kind of mixing in here. We're going to put that into the middle. Same into this bit here. And into that middle bit there. And then we're going to get some of this. They do, Paula, until they're fixed, but not easily. They're more oily. So I'm going to just do the test for you. So if you put it on your finger, the test for this, put it on your finger. And when you do this, take care, Mona. See you later. If you do that, you'll see how oily. So it's like an oily texture. And I know that looks weird to do, but if you feel the pastel, it's like it's got an oily undertone to it. And it really is like this really nice feel. It's like an oil. So although they're chalky and they can smear, of course this pastel they can smear, but it's less likely to once they are fixed. I need to get a final fixative, which I'm going to do, but I use Spectrafix to fix down. But it's really oily. Now I'm just going to get some of the neutral grey extra dark, and that's just to drop in some shadows now. So just enough to go on in there, just get some shadows going. And then wipe off, and then just blend in, wipe off, blend in, and that is how we're going to blend. So wipe off again, blend in the edge, and just keep doing that. No, thank you. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to get it to look. We won't get it to look exact. I'm not that skilled, but we're trying to make it look like it can get there. So we might need a bit more brown into the mid. So we're going to grab burnt sienna shade. We're just going to touch that in to this mix in his eyes. And just kind of roll with that and see what we can do. So we're dropping in different colours to try and mix in these shades in so we can try and see what we can do. Okay, so we might do this little patch here that's like a weird, dark, dirty patch like he's got. See, like these bits here? So we're going to drop in some of that and then use our colourless blender to sort of blend out that little patch that he's got going on. And then we're going to add some texture to him because he's on here. He's got like little crevices and little lines, and he's got lines coming down. So that's what we're going to do. So we might do that with the orange extra dark, orange tint. Thank you so much. So I think if we get the black first, just on the edges, this is our medium, pearl medium black fine. So we're going to add some extra like shading in there. And again, add that onto the skull. And then just blend in. You got a good enough like view from there so you can see what I'm doing, because then you can see me mixing and you can see the, you know, the pastels beside me, so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. The pan pastels are nothing like the soft ones. All right, Jen. They aren't as chalky. They can have a dust. So you've got your usual chalk pastels like the Faber-Castell sets, and you know you can scrape them off and make a powder. You don't scrape these off. These are in little pots, and they are, again, I'll just show you the test. So when you touch them, they've got this creamy, they're very highly pigmented. As you can see, I only touched that. And when you touch them, they don't make a dust. They are fine. They're like a fine oil, like a pressed powder. That's what they feel like, as opposed to like a chalky. If I did that with a pastel, it's just going to go everywhere, isn't it? It's going to like go like fine dust. So it would go all over your work, and then you'd end up with like a big chalky mess. But these don't. These are like a very, very, very oiled, pressed makeup powder. They're very oily. But they're absolutely amazing. They are so workable, and they take practice and time. But that's the good thing with this, you know, they're a new medium. Exactly, they are like makeup. They're like you know, if you touch a makeup powder and you do that, it wouldn't go everywhere. It would just go on your fingers. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some more of the yellow ochre tint, and I'm just going to bring some of that in, and then we're going to add some texture in. So just add in. Don't worry about going over lines and all of that, because you're going to go back in there. Raw umber shade. I'm going to add like a sort of texture in. So like if you dab that in, it can have some texture into him. Not too much, but it'll have a texture. And then on him, he's got these tiny little crevices. So I'm going to make a crevice here. So just drop it in slightly, and I'm going to do like a little patch here as well. So like he's got like a dirty patch, and that is with the raw umber shade. And then in there, I'm going to add some of the extra orange, the orange extra dark into. And just give him some like little patches so that he's dirty like him. I want him like dirtied. And then I'm just going to get some of that white medium and just blend that in slightly around the edges. And then we're going to bring very finely with some of the orange extra dark, we're going to add some lines coming in like these sort of, just, can you see that? Very fine. We are. I'm getting a bit messy over here. So just very fine and very faint. I want this to blend in, but I'm bringing out these, hold on, these lines. So just like a cracked effect. So if you can see that, but it's like if you have all these little lines going on, like a cracked skull. And I'm going to bring slightly a little bit up from his nose there, like that. So it's got the raw umber shade here. So I'm just going to bring some of that down. And it just gives it that look. So then you can get, and you can blend out with some of your yellow ochre slightly. Just blend that out on the edges, you know, and it can blend right in then. You know, just use that as your starting point. And then you can get some of your pencils and you can add your details in. So most of your work's done with the pastels. You don't have to do that. So I'm pretty happy with how he's come out. I can add a little bit more of the raw umber tint. I don't want too much of him, but look at me calling it him like the colours are him. but just enough. Now, yes, Glory, lots. You're so sweet. Yes, there's loads. Loads I can't. I'm learning as I go along. Okay, and then I think just around the edge, the black fine pearl medium, I'm just going to drop a little bit in to shadow this up, and we'll blend that out. So just a tad, just to sort of, hold on, we'll blend that in. So I'm not going to worry about going into the other skull, because that is, the whole point is that I've got to do the next one, so it's fine. Okay. So I will, the reason I come on a little bit earlier, it gives you a little bit more time in between two streams. Hi, Karen. How you doing? So here you can see I've left a little bit out on him, so I just need to bring that in and just shade that out. Just bring in and shade out and bring that line up a bit. There we are. So he kind of looks not the same, but he's kind of got his own thing going on. Thank you so much, Unicorn. So if I zoom you out a bit, so we've got kind of the colours, not exact, but we kind of got the colours matching, not massively, but we've got there with those few that we had. So we kind of got there. So if we want to add some detailing in with some pencil, you need to sort of grab your Prismacolors. I need to put these back so that, sorry about knocking the camera. Thank you, everyone. Before we need these colours, so I'm going to keep these stacked. The good thing with pans, you can stack them. I'm going to keep these ones stacked because I want them for the next project that we're doing, which is the next one. So we're going to keep these colours going. I'm just going to keep everything together. Hold on, that one as well. Ah, thank you. Thanks, everyone. There is Kit. Is it Kit and Clouder? Clouder and Kit? I don't know what ones they are. There is colouring classes with them. Is it Kit and Clouder? Someone else might be able to, you know, say, yeah, that's right, Sam. I think it's Kit and Clouder. There is colouring classes from them. Ah, you're getting the Girls of Poem. It's one of the best books, that. You'll enjoy that. Okay, so put that aside. So we've got, as you can see, we've got some that's gone out of the lines. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining. It's lovely to have new people. So I'm just getting the eraser on to her hands here. Just take off that pastel that we've got. So just straight onto all this, because the hand is going to be obviously in the skin colours, but we'll go back over that, that's fine. And then, as I said, with a brush, you're better off getting a brush. I'm going to have to hoover myself. I can tell you that I've got little rubbing all over me. All over. So I've left those ones that we were using aside. And now we're going to get some pencil into this, but we don't want too much, because actually we've pretty much covered the colours that we've got in there, but I do want to get some like sienna type colours. So I'm going to grab a warm grey, and I might get in some hold on. So I've got the Prismas in front of me. So I'm going to pick out, oh, you can hear her. Yes, she's saying hello now. She's going to get in on the action, bless her. So we're going to get out, we're going to get Sandbar Brown. We need a cream. So we need cream, or we can use eggshell. Eggshell would be a good one. And then we can also use some espresso rather than black. So if I move that back over, we're going to get, just on the lighter areas, I'm going to use some eggshell. I'm not going to pastel this until in a minute. I'll just go in there first. So just going to add a little bit in just to make this a bit more pronounced. So this is eggshell. This is Prismacolor. And then just for the final like detailing in, thank you, Gracelyn. Bless you. Thank you very much. I'm going to get 70% French grey, which is more of like a brownie grey, which I really like. And just go underneath and just shade that in there. Not too much, but you just enough. Sort of add some texture in and some shading in. So I'll get this done. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the really, really positive comments. So this, as I said, is 70% French grey Prisma 1074. And I'm literally just dropping in some shading into this before I spray that skull. I might be able to do the other skull without spraying and then spray it after, because you need to spray in between. But the thing is with that is that it does soggy the paper because it does make the paper wet. And because we're on stream and we've got a limited time, that would be fine if I was doing a marathon and, I'm back the next day doing it all. But I won't be today because we've got Jen, so I've got time limit. So we've got Sandbar Brown in 1094. And then you can pronounce some of that around the nose and up into these parts. You've also got these little lines here that you can use as a guide for some shading. So you can drop in some shade in there. Not too much because, again, your pastels have done this. Hi, Lisa. Thank you very much. Oh, you're an acrylic artist. Is this your channel, Christy? Is it Christy Canvas Art? Is that your channel? Do you do videos? I'll have a look after. Okay, so we will add that extra in. Branching into new mediums is a learning curve for everyone. I'm just a colorist. Like, I'm not an artist. So I should imagine when you can do all of that, it's great. So I just love using all my mediums. So I'm just going to add some detail in with these cracks. I'm going to just go over those lines that I've faintly done, and I'm barely using any pressure. So we're just using enough, and I'm going to add and drop in like a little bit here that I can blend out as well. And then I can use my eggshell around the edge of that to blend that out. So I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but Chip is snoring his head off beside me. And then we can use a bit more of the Sandbar Brown. And I'm just gonna. So how is everyone doing today? Lisa, I'm okay at the moment. I think we got about 4. Thank you so much for offering. You sit back and enjoy and relax, my love. What are you colouring today? I'm using that Sandbar Brown, and then I'm getting the eggshell. I'm literally just gonna drop that in. So that is my skull, I think. So if I want to add any white, anything into it, like a Posca, any detail. Hi, Candace. I'm just going to, into here, I'm literally just, I don't want too much. I'm just going to add around the edge a little bit. So just beside that line, can you see? It's just minuscule, not too much. Your Halloween one looked exactly like Carla's. It looked amazing. I was so impressed with that. That was crazy skills. Okay, so as you can see with that skull, that was made from the Pan pastels, and I've done her a little bit more of a creamy colour, but that was what I was aiming for. But we kind of use that as our inspiration, so that we've got, something to work off of without just trying to. So that was just all really Pan pastels. Then we've got another skull, and we've got a bone here sticking out. I don't know if you can see that. So there's a bone there. And how are we doing for time? Because I will be on till 6 o'clock my time. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, 1 second, everyone. I did it. So sorry, Candy. That was me. I was trying to time someone else out. I'm so sorry. Oh, Candy, I do apologise, my dear. I have slapped myself on the hand for that one. I just realised it was me because I just got told. So I'm just wiping off. Right. So what I was thinking, guys, I'm just looking at my page and wiping my tools off. I'm thinking maybe to continue do this other skull, seeing as we're doing the skulls. I'm so sorry, Candy. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was me. That was me. We'll keep those pencils out because we need them. And then we might just continue do the skull. Now with this, we've got the inside of the mouth as well. And we have the inner part, which will be a bit darker. We've got this other bone here. I think I won't get it all done on her today, but it's given us a little working point, hasn't it, on the pastels. Should I, if I'm never in a million years going to get this all done in the next hour. So do you want me to continue this one on the next stream that I do on Tuesday? Or do we want to start something new and I do this in my free time? Thank you. It's okay. You go and eat. Thank you so much for coming on over, Chrissy. And thanks for being a new subscriber. So, I mean, I'm going to keep going until 6. But I will, for certain, I want to continue this. Like, you know, we're doing as much as we could, and it gives you an idea on how to use pastels as well. But I didn't have this particularly as a colour along. I was trying to do this with you all. Okay, so if we get out the mediums, we'll do one more skull. So we use the yellow ochre tint because we got our next colour along starting on Tuesday. And that's the, you know, the stream one. Okay, so we'll go for this little fella here. So we'll grab the yellow ochre tint. If you're thinking about branching into these pan pastels, they are a whole new learning curve. You know, it's hard to explain, but they are totally different to what you would use if you were going in with just pencil. Hiya, Kim. So you can totally, you know, get to grips with them, but it takes time and practice. So that is the yellow ochre tint, like we did to start with. Then I am going to get my orange extra dark. And like we did with the first one, we're just going to start putting down where we want those to go. Those teeth, I'm going to make gold teeth. I'm going to have 2 gold teeth in them. But otherwise, they're going to be quite yellowed, like an old sort of skull's yellowed, horrible teeth. They are awful because they're all aged and decrepit and been in the ground for God knows how many years and, you know, all of that. So we're going to make those, but we're going to have 2 gold teeth like a pirate in that. So we're given 2 gold teeth. So we're just plotting out where we would like that shading to go. So I'm going to bring down that orange extra dark shade. Just bring that in. So that's our, yeah, pirate teeth. Yeah, like Jack Sparrow. So I'm now going to get my burnt sienna shade. And I'm just going to put where I would like that to go as well. So this will be our next colour. And then again, I'm going to bring that from underneath and drag very, very lightly. The thing is with these, you don't need a lot. And then I'm going to get back my yellow ochre tint and we're going to blend some of that in now that we've just put down. So you just tap in it in. Tap in and pull that pigment down. Just in small circular motions. We're going to bring that across as well. Then I'm going to get my, where did I put that? It wasn't that one. No, thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, no, well, just for me, I see a skull. I think of Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the colourless blender for a second. I just want to, I don't know why, but I think that's just my association. I absolutely love that film. I love all of the films, barring the last one. And if I see skulls and anything to do with that, I think of that immediately. Right, so now we need a little bit more definition. So we're going to go back with the burnt sienna shade because we've got to erase those teeth. And then I'm going to bring in a dark one of the raw umber shade. So this is a bit darker. And just drop that in. So can you kind of see where I'm going? Oh, tattoo! Hiya! I haven't seen you in a long time. Take care, anyone that's leaving. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, Jen's is after at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we're just circular motions in with that. I need, where in the heck did I put that? That's the colourless. There we are. Raw umber tint. Yeah, Sheila. Hi, Desiree. Welcome back. So we did one skull, Desiree. We were trying to, for what you might have missed, we were trying to replicate this one. So we're going for the next one. So this is the raw umber tint. We're dropping some grey into this now. And just into the underneath of his skull, his mouth, and the same here. So just drag that in. You only need to tap the pastel. You hardly need to do anything with that. And then we can start blending in and taking out. Thank you. So like with the tea, these are going to be ivory with a gold tooth. So don't worry about, you know, going over lines because you can always take them out. So get your paintbrush. And then I'm going to get some more of the burnt sienna shade. And just drop some in there, and again with that. So we need some black coming in here now. Ah, yeah, no, they're fun to do. The skulls are fun to do. So I need some black fine medium, and this will shade into these dark areas. And I'm just going to blend in that because that will be your shadow. So don't be scared to get the mediums on. That's what they're there for, because it might be like, oh my gosh, it's permanent. It is, but you don't work, you can work it. So again, get some of that black, wipe off in between, and then just circular motions to blend that in, wipe off, come back, circular motions, blend in. Grab some of your colourless blender, you can blend that out a bit. Just sort of get that going so that it's darker on that end, because he's like against, isn't he? So that's this is the medium set. So you get the black fine pearl medium. And then you can just mix that in. Sorry for not being in chat for a moment. I've not been in chat today much at all. I'm so sorry. I will chat in Jen's. I will get to actually be on the other end where I can sit and talk, which I love because I don't get to do that as much, because you do miss stuff when you're sitting here and you're sort of telling people what you're doing. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to like inform you where I am or what I'm doing. Okay, so I need like a more of a ivory colour. So I'm going to get is this diarylide yellow tin. I want him yellow teeth. So I'm going to go straight over the teeth with that. So that's diarylide yellow tint. And then I want him to be a bit more yellow teeth. So I'm going to grab some yellow ochre in between. And then he's going to have 2 gold teeth. I'm going to yellow his teeth up, put some browns. So I might need to now bring in, hi Anna, welcome back. So I'm going to bring in my finer detail, and I'm going to get my burnt sienna shade, a touch of, and add some of that into the corners. And just kind of get in there with how brown that would be. I'm going to give 2 gold teeth in a minute with a gold pen or gold paint even. So he can have a bit yellowed in there. Let's grab some yellow. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of getting there. And then I'm just going to get one more round of the orange extra dark. And I'm going to make that a little bit more standing out. So just work that in, wipe that off and work that in. Just work it right in. So grab that. Thank you, Tati. I just looked up on for like the first time in ages. Okay, so that's the kind of, for now, with the pan pastels, I've got to add the, so we're kind of getting there with the skulls. They're like that aged old look. So we could use our Coloro paints, I think they're called, which we'll do in a minute. And I think I'm going to now just get my sandbar brown, my 70% French grey, and my eggshell improvement. So that's 140, 1074, and 1094. And I'm just with the sand, is this eggshell? Eggshell. I'm just going to just blend in a little bit on the areas underneath the eye. And then with the sandbar brown, I'm going to bring in that just to shade in some in the eyes as well and under the mouth. Just into this part here. Hiya. Thank you, Candice. Hiya, Helly. I didn't see you. Hiya, Jamafran. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing today? You all colouring, got yourself set up for the day? For those of you that can't, then I hope you enjoy the streams. And if you can't do that and you're watching this on playback, then I hope that you have your cozy colouring night of yourself. You can like do your own little one after. Okay, and then I'm going to get the 70% French grey and literally quite heavy pressure here. I'm going to just shade in and blend that in. So just enough in between on these to get a blend going and some darker parts on his skull. So just enough to shade. So you can see that looks quite, ugh. Yes, Martina. Which part? This part. Here is a skull arm. This I'm not quite sure. So you've got that's a space in between the skulls for certain, but I'm not sure about this part. But I'm going to do that as a skull, that bit. I'm going to do that, just that extra bit here is like one underneath. This is an arm. No, thank you, Paula. I'll see you on Jen's. I'll be able to talk to you all in chat. I'll be able to not miss stuff and I'll talk to you. That part I'm going to colour as a skull. This part is going to be like a shadow underneath, like just a like a sort of espressoed area, I'm going to say. This is definitely a skull arm. And then this is her clothing. And this is all her hair. And then, you know, so this will be the background up here. Underneath the chin, skull with the gold teeth. Yeah, this bit. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I think this is background and that's more skull. That's how I'm going to envision it. that's my vision. So this I'm going to colour like, let me just put it down as it so you can see. This bit I'm going to do a skull as another new one that might be in the corner going off somewhere. And like this is a space in between them, I'm guessing. Oh, this one here. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. Oh, it can look funny then. It's fine, I don't mind. It can look funny. If it is that, I can always erase it. I can add some hair on there and it can be part. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But I can erase that if it is hair. This bit here. Yeah. If I look at it and I'm not happy with it, I'll erase it. Okay. So I'm going to just put Prisma on that bit, to be honest. I don't have to fuss about that with loads of colours because it's just a little bit at the bottom. So we're just going to add the eggshell in. And then these little gold teeth, I'm going to literally do as gold teeth. So I'm going to grab the Colorio set, and this is the Inca, is it the Inca gold? Oh no, Arabic gold, this one. So I'm going to just get some water in my brush and I'll be right back. Oh, that's it. Hold on. I need to clear up my area. My area, I've got stuff all over the place. Seriously. Okay, so with these paints, you need to drop a little bit of water in there and leave it for a couple of minutes. Literally just leave it. Then I'll have to spray this part. And then I might do her eyebrows. And then do I want to do her hair? It might be hair. It might be hair. Okay, so I'm going to just erase this one. I want that as a gold tooth. I don't need to turn it on. And I'm going to do this one as gold. So I'm going to have 2 gold teeth on my pirate. So that seems to be, yeah, okay. So that seems to be nice and wet. So we can put that as a gold tooth. And that one is gold tooth. So we'll put that here. Just put the gold in. Be a little bit wary about the water. So he's got 2 gold teeth like pirate. Can you see that? I love it. I had to do 2 gold teeth. I could even do an extra one, you know. I'm going to do 3. So I'm going to put it there as well. When that dries, I can do a second coat and make it even more pronounced. So he's got 3 gold teeth just because, for the hell of it, because he could be a pirate one. And then if I want to get some dark in the matter, I might grab some black. Hold on. I just love making silly little touches. So we're just going to grab the black here. And then I'm just going to put in some black shading, just extra on the nose, on the eyes, very lightly. Add that in. Okay, and just add underneath. Just add a bit more black, just a bit more depth, and then you can just kind of mix in then if you want to add any more color to shade it. But I think, you know, being that we got black, it might be enough there. So just add a bit more underneath. Just keep with the black and just shade before we put any fixative on it. So then it fixes it down and then we've got our final result. But don't forget to let the gold teeth dry. So So she, yeah, she's kind of getting there, isn't she? So I'm quite happy with how. Don't forget, this is only like a, you know, a new medium to me as well, pan pastels. I'm learning myself, so it's just getting there with things. You don't have to be perfect to start with. You don't have to be perfect ever. I'm certainly never gonna be that. It's just a learning curve. A learning curve to do all these things, but it kind of looks a bit more, you know, those look a bit like that, I'd say, in color wise. It'd be quite cool if that could be an additional one on the end. Hiya, Beth. So they are all pan pastel with a tiny bit of pencil. The only pencils we used were eggshell, we used sandbar brown, and we used French grey prismas. The pan pastels that we've used, I'll run over them again, is yellow ochre tint. We used burnt sienna shade. We used orange extra dark. We used, what's this one? Raw umber tint. And we grabbed a little bit of the raw sienna shade, and then we used our blending medium. So we used a colourless blender. We used the white fine medium in a tiny little bit, but mostly the black fine medium for the shadows. So those are the mediums that we used on the skull. So it was mostly pan pastels, but with a little bit of prismas, and that is how we've ended up. We've ended up with two skulls that kind of resemble what I was going for. You know, by no means are they perfect, but they are kind of what I was looking for when I started this, to make sure that I wanted to be, you know, something that resembled that one that we've got. Okay, let's see what we can do. Now we're going to start our hair, I think, and we'll do pastels for that. We add in the details after. I'm trying to think what we can start her hair. Okay, so we'll bring her down, and we are going to have a look. That's okay, Beth. I hope you're well, and I wish your little one better. I wish him better. That's it. So she's got green eyes. Now, do I want her to have a traditional hair color, or do I want something that will stand out? I'm just looking at the colors in front of me. So if we get our charts, if I use that as she's got green eyes. So if we go for a red, I'm thinking like a dark red. So like the permanent reds, we could have like you could go with a light tint of it, which would be more pink. If we go for a red, it will be permanent red extra dark mostly, permanent red shade, and the red tint. We can use the reds. You can also add a hint of red iron oxide if you want some browns put into there. So you can, so like reds, they're like a red orange. So you've got red iron oxide, you've got permanent reds, you've got permanent red shade. So we're kind of looking at these colors. I'm thinking like, sorry, I just got to think of the process here. So if I'm going to put a light color down to start with, it might be something really light like this, which is more pinky tones. Definitely going to have that as my final, like dropping in. Maybe the red shade. We've got to have a look, guys. I've got to have a look. So I need to touch that down. We'll do one part to start. So if we get, yeah, the purple reddish one. That's what I was thinking. So you've got, that's the permanent red shade, which is, let me have a look. Let me get my tray out. So that would be, Martina, permanent red extra dark is the purplish red one. It's like a really deep mahogany. And then you've got permanent red shade, which is this one. Sorry about knocking the camera. And then if we had an undertone of something, it could be red iron oxide tint maybe, which would be our one that we used on the skin, which would be that. So that could be our lighter shade. We could go for those colours, couldn't we? So we'll start off, we'll do a section. We won't do the whole hair yet. So if I come for this section here, we'll see how we end up. So I'm going to grab these little tools that I had. Make sure that they're clean. Take care, Catherine. That's okay. Have a good day. So we've got these reds here. So you're not going to just have one tone in it. You're going to have three. You're going to start with the, let's brighten you up a bit. Let's bring this over. Right, is it, your screen's fine? Okay. So if we go for the lightish tone first, which is red iron oxide tin. So we get a little bit down. So this is our undertone colour. It's like a peachy tone. And then we're going to put that down first. I'm trying not to touch the skulls. Be mindful of where you put these pastels. So that will be our undertone colour. I'm just going to do a bit to start with. Then I'm going to bring in some permanent red shade. So we can start to look at, I'm going to put you at a bit of a tilt. So we can start to look at adding and dropping this in. So let's hold that down that side. So if I bring that in first, don't worry about going on the face. I can fix that, that's fine. So that will be an undertone though. Let's bring a red head. We'll do it quite fiery and then we'll bring in the darker shade after. So just bring up. Don't forget I add black as well, just for like details. So bring that up into the middle. It looks quite dark, but it won't, it's quite light, it will get darker. And this was the permanent red extra dark. So now I'm going to start dropping in a darker colour. We can always add purple in as well, you know, purple goes with red. And start dragging down. You add your final details in after. We're going to get our pencils on this. That's why I'm only doing one section to show you. So this is the three reds that we're initially starting with. Okay, so we bring that up. So that's a deeper red, see? So again, just keep bringing and playing with that colour. Just bring that down. And with her eyebrows, I'm going to do it in this dark colour anyway, and then go in with some pencil. So we're going to bring that dark, this is the permanent red extra dark. We're going to bring that into her eyebrows, and then we'll get some black in on it. So it just brings a nice colour into it. We'll mix them up. We'll mix them up. We'll do what we can in this short space of time that we've got left. So pastels are a different medium to work with altogether, and you have to be mindful of touching the paper. So just instead of like smudging your hand, have your hand up and also hold the paper. I hold the paper with just one or two fingers just so that you don't smudge. Okay, so bring that down and bring those colours up, and don't worry about going onto the face because we can sort that out. So because you can always slightly, you don't have to erase with the electric razor, but just be mindful because you can always add a bit of peach down or something. That's it. So I quite like those colours actually. I think that'll go pretty well because she's quite, if we do that, she'll go a bit more vampy. And then she's going to have green emeralds in her hair. So bring those colours in and up. Still go to the permanent red extra dark, not the shade, the extra dark. So bring and just lift those colours up. Yeah, it's got gold teeth. I'll put in my gold teeth. Okay, so now we've got permanent red shade, and I'm just going to drop some of that in. Just into the middle, just a little bit. So I'm tapping it and just dragging it. And I'm just literally in a swiping. So if I do it on a blank bit of paper, I'm just swiping up like that. So just swipe up in your little motions like you would when you do your pencils. I'm just mixing between the permanent red shade and permanent red extra dark, so that you've still got an undertone of the bright fiery red, but you've got some just additional darker marooned colours. You can bring some purple into it in the root, which we can do. And then just lift and bring that up in a swiping motion. And I'm barely touching the paper, guys. So if you can see, you've got a couple of different colours going on. Now you can put in something like a magenta extra dark into the roots. So if I get that, I'll show you. So this is magenta extra dark. It's like a purple. So wipe your brush off and then just grab that and pull that down from the root. So that has the darkest part. And it's again, bring that up. And from just tap it from the part of the hair there as well. Just bring that down. So that just gives it a little undertone. Hi Tatty, welcome back. And then if you wanted to add into the middle from your lightest colour, which is the red iron oxide, if you want to just add a little bit more of that into the middle, into the shine, just very lightly apply that in so that you've got that highlight. So you've got a few extra colours going on. Hi Amanda. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now with the eyebrows. Before I continue with this one, I'm going to move those aside a minute. So with her eyebrows, now you've got, oh, that's okay. No need to apologise. You've got life first. I always say that, guys. Life first. I appreciate you being here, but you do have a life as well. It's all pan pastels, Amanda, apart from a tiny bit of Prismas. But the Prismas literally to do little minor details. But the majority from the beginning has been all pans, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to get just a black Prisma. And on her eyebrows, so if I bring them up, so they're just very faintly done. So this is rough at the moment, the hair, just to give you an idea of what we're doing. So I'm going to, very small flicking motions, I'm going to now put in the black to her eyebrows. That will add in the final sort of how I want the eyebrows to be. So just keep with it. And it will have the undertone of the red, but they will be darker, see? And the same applies to this side. So I've got to be really mindful of how I'm sort of positioning my arm on this pastel. So just keep going with the pencil and just very lightly go along until you reach the end of the eyebrow. So just adds in the final detail of that. You have the undertone of the red, but you won't see that. Now with the skin, because I've got the red on the skin, I'm going to have to just be a little bit more careful with that. I'm going to just come in with a bit of pencil. So I suggest be very, very careful. So now I grab my skin tone back and I'm just going to get the, I'm just going to get some nectar and just tidy my mess up that I did on that corner. And the same with, thank you, Di. Grab some light peach and I'm just going to tidy up my edge there. But it can kind of go as like a shadow anyway. And then you need your black. I'm just going to shadow that a little bit. So just enough to sort of just shadow underneath that hair. Then we can put our details into the hair. So now that we've got that base going, so I'm only doing this little section here so you can see. Now I'm just going to bring in and put down little small strokes. So I'm just holding the paper so you can see. And just from the top, I'm going to apply some black, very light strokes in. And it just keeps that red in there, but you've got some sort of, just some small strokes. So this is just how I'm going to approach this. And then you can get some henna, which will be a nice colour to add in there. So you can do it and approach it either way. So just bring that little strokes up. but the pan pastels will do most of the work. So it just adds in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's how that's going to look. So you can add in, so we can go, we're quite happy with those colours, and I think that kind of mixes in okay. So don't forget as well, these little things on the side we're going to use like greens and make the emeralds. So I'm also going to just finish this side of the hair. So I'll just say what I've been doing. I'm going to just repeat myself, go over it again. So I'm going to put down the red iron oxide tint. So if I wipe my brushes, then I should be all right. Okay, so again, just going over that entire area with the undercoat first. I'm just going to pop that down and hold the side. So just apply that over. This is over the entire area. You can keep this as your base coat. So don't worry about going over lines too much because you can erase it. Yeah, so that's your base. Hi, Samantha. That's okay. Thank you for coming on over. I hope you're well. Then we got permanent red extra shade. And that's okay. Thank you so much, Pickle. You've been here for nearly 3 hours. Have a great day. Hopefully I'll see you over at Jen's. So we got the pan pastel in the permanent red shade. And I'm going to bring that colour down as well because this is a large area. I'm just going to use this tool for a minute. So just drag that on down. Go from the tip of it. Just bring down that colour. Yeah, just bringing that in. Hey, Katrina. And then bring that on up. And that will sort of meet to the middle. And then we'll get our other tool that we were using. So you can see that that's going to have the shine in the middle. Then grab your other tool, which is the small applicator, look like a little makeup brush. He's not too good at the minute, Candice, but we're trying to get there. So we've got permanent red extra dark. If we hold that down, we'll drag those colours in and just in small flicky motions go back and then just bring that down and just keep with that pattern. And just again up. Just keep bringing those colours up to meet. So that's got a bigger shine in the middle. Thank you, Nick. Hiya, Bunny. Hope you're well. So we're just bringing that over. So I want in the middle, I kind of want that shine. I want to keep that shine. This is all pans more or less. Then we're going to bring in some of the magenta extra dark. And you don't need a lot of this, just a touch of this. And this will just bring a purple undertone to the hair. So it's a red purple, isn't it? It's a nice colour. I actually really like this. Jen's has this colour usually. It's got like a dark, deep red. Okay, so we're bringing that up. And then you're just going to play around. Play around with that middle. So now I'm going to reintroduce some permanent red shade just to keep that fire in that mix. Just bring that in. And I'll have to go and spray this after so that I don't smudge. So bring some of that in. Before the greys come back. I still, because I dye my hair blonde, I don't think I'll see one, for a while. I could have a couple, but I don't know. I don't look for them, so I would not know. Oh no. Hope you get it fixed. Okay, and now I'm just going to put into the middle, to lighten it up in the middle, the red iron oxide tint again. That's just to give the highlight into the middle. Okay, so that's kind of the colour of what we're going to go for with the pastels. Right, so before I'm going to get the eraser onto the top of this, at the top. I might do the just around here as black anyway, so that wouldn't matter too much, but yeah, it's a lovely colour. So I don't want to, oh gosh, look what I've done. I did that a bit too hard. Okay, I'm trying to do it without smudging it. Okay, and then my black, before I spray it, I'm going to try and do this very carefully. Don't forget with the pastels, you can smudge them, so just be mindful of where you put your hands and arms. So because I've sprayed the face, I won't smudge as much, but you can smudge very easily. So you need to fix it down. Okay, so we're just going to do the, thank you, Katrina. Okay, so we're just going to apply those in. There we go. And then I'm just going to, like I usually do, I'm just going to add a couple of flicks over of my own hair on that side. Just like little flicks. Can you see that? Thanks, Rebecca. So we'll do the other side and I'll do the other side and then I'll add the emerald. I'm nearly finished. I've nearly finished this picture. They don't actually take that long, pan pastels. Like, it's surprising. Like, because you're doing all the mixing like a palette, you're just getting in there. It doesn't actually take that long. It cuts your time down. And then I'm just going to bring over just a few flicky motions. And that is how her hair will go. That's how we're going to kind of roll with the hair. So far, we have done her face. Well, we've kind of got the gist of the hair. I need to just do the clothes, and I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet. So the hair colour, the rest of this, I'm going to have to just erase out all those bits. We've got the hair colour, we've got the face going, we've got the eyes, the lips, we've got the skulls, and I'm pretty happy with how that's come out. So for a Halloween, like, second round of this, don't forget this is my second round on stream of pan pastels. I've kind of got the gist of them, I think, now. There's still loads to learn with them. That I kind of got the gist on how to use them, which is good, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable for me to be able to do that. So we've got these colours for the hair. So the hair colours I'll go over again for you if anyone's interested and would like to try that. Just trying to get that all off. It was a base of red iron oxide tint. Second colour going in with permanent red shade. We went over with permanent red extra dark. And then we went with a final, just a few streaks of the magenta extra dark, which is like a dark purple. And that created that sort of purpley red tone to our hair, which, you know, pretty happy about. We don't need to. Then we got some gold teeth going on with our little pirate, our pirate skull. That's what that's called. We tried to recreate, hold on. Oh, sorry, everyone. We tried to recreate the skull colours of this kind of guy, but a little bit more yellow, a little bit more aged, like he's been in the ground a bit longer than this one. This one's probably only been there 10 years. He's been there about 100. So we tried to do that. So all in all, we've achieved quite a lot on this. And now I can sit, if you're watching some playback, I'm just going to spend 5-10 minutes talking to everyone and finding out what everyone's up to. And then I am going to call it a day. I can go and make some food or get some food before we've got 2 hours until Jen's stream. It gives people a little bit of extra time to be able to go and do something or have some, you know, 2 hours to yourself before Jen comes on. I wanted to give you a little bit of extra time in between so that you're not rushing from one to the other, because I know that, you know, you need to go and eat and stuff. So yes, if you've achieved anything in this stream, what have you been up to? Or have you got yourselves all set up? What you're doing? Don't forget there's the second stream at 8 my time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Katrina. We had a good time with the pans. We had a good time. Like I've kind of got the gist of them now. And on Tuesday, I'm going to be starting a new colour along on the channel. So we'll have another picture. But yeah, I hope that you kind of got the gist of pans on this stream and what we can do with them. So that's good. You're doing another pug diamond painting for my daughter. How lovely. You started a pumpkin. It's a start. That's okay, Janet. Thank you so much for sticking this out as well. So yeah, because it is a Halloween themed one, so that's why I went for the Halloween Jasmine book. And I'm pretty sure that Jen's going to pick a Halloween picture. So you've got that in 2 hours. So I think I'm going to call it a day there. You're adding pencil to your dragon. I'm so glad that you're colouring, Tatty. I know with time. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you for coming on over. So I do stream again on Tuesday, and that will be my normal regular stream. This was the Cozy Colouring Night 1. Thank you, Flory. So I will stop with my picture there. Thank you so much, Jen, for asking me again. Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Tatty. Rebecca. Oh, 1 second. Let me go up. Just think about pan pastels. Yes, it's all a learning curve. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm just grateful that you were over here. Thank you, Pamela, Kim, Karen K, Helly. Thank you ever so much. Oh, no. Stick around. Stick around. I'll show you now, and we'll do it as you comment on the end of this string. Chip, shush, stick around 2 seconds. I'm not going to do it as the live one. We'll draw the winner on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, if you comment under this string, I'm going to all give you a number. So when this uploads, 1 second, guys. So when this uploads, so this way, it's not people it's everyone gets a chance. I'm giving away, so this is not today. I'll do the draw on Tuesday for it. I'm giving away the new Halloween colouring book by Molly Harrison. So you've probably all seen this floating around. So if you comment after the stream, in the comments, not on the live stream, comment under after the stream's uploaded, just say international, everyone. It's open to everyone, as long as you're a subscriber. So comment on this stream. On Tuesday, I will be drawing the winner. So I'm not going to do it on stream. That way, people who are watching it back, as well as watching it on stream, get a chance to join in. So don't forget to comment on the video after. Just say, yes, please. You don't have to give I'll give you a number, and I will draw you out on Tuesday. So after, make sure that you get yourselves in there, and I will give this out to international, whoever would like this one. It's a brand new colouring book, the Halloween one, and I will get this out to you next week, whoever the winner is, so that you got it in time. So don't forget to comment after the stream, and you get a chance for winning that. So thank you so much. Have an amazing evening. I will finally be able to talk to you all properly over on Jen's. Oh, great, Fliss. I'm going to switch that on for 2 hours. So, yeah, you get yourselves in the comments, and I will give you a number. So take care. I'll see you all. Finally, I'll be able to talk to you all over on Jen's stream. Jen's stream is 8 p.m. London time and 3 p.m. Eastern time. So take care. See you there. Bye.